Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video I'll be showcasing 6 of the easiest nations to start as in EU4. For each of the nations I've given a brief explanation of their position along with tips and how to expand. If you enjoy this video, I'd greatly appreciate if you could like and subscribe. First off, we have Portugal. Perhaps the safest nation in all of EU4, Portugal begins the game with an alliance to England. The player can then on day 1 get an alliance with Castile, given the fact they begin the game friendly. Portugal also starts the game with an explorer. This, along with plus 25% colonial range and plus 50% global settler increase from their ideas, means just about anybody can turn Portugal from a small kingdom into a global empire. Located within the HRE, Bohemia is the strongest of all the prince electors. As a member of the HRE, the player's main goal for the first 50 years of the game should be to gather enough votes from electors to overtake Austria as the emperor. With national ideas giving bonuses to imperial growth modifier, tolerance of heretics, and national unrest, Bohemia is well suited to deal with the Reformation. At the beginning of the game, I'd recommend getting alliances with Brandenburg, the Palatinate, and Cologne. With these 3 electors as allies, you can easily overtake Austria as emperor. These 3 alliances plus the 2 vassals you start the game with will put you over your diplomatic limit. This will cause you to lose out on diplomatic points. To avoid this, enable the strong duchies privilege under the nobility tab. Overall, Bohemia is a really well-rounded nation and capable of becoming emperor within the first 50 years of the game. I'd recommend this nation to any new player trying to learn HRE mechanics. You ever wish you could just win every battle, siege every castle, core every province, defeat any coalition? Well, look no further than the Ottoman Empire, with ideas such as plus 5% discipline, minus 20 core creation costs, plus 20 manpower recovery speed, plus 15 cavalry combat ability, and plus 33% land force limit modifier. I don't think there's a better nation suited toward world domination than the Ottomans. For the first 50 years of the game, the player's focus should be primarily on consolidating Anatolia and the Balkans. Once that's done, the only thing in your way of world domination is the Mamluks. Focus your manpower on them, take over the Alexandria trade node, and make big bank in Constantinople. For the most part, this should be a cakewalk for anyone, experienced or inexperienced. Although, if you are inexperienced, I'd suggest watching that AE, that aggressive expansion. That could be your downfall. But that's just about it. Do you like having unlimited manpower? Does having the largest font on the map turn you on? Well, Muscovy is the nation for you. For the first 50 years, your main goal should be to annex all of Novgorod and pacify the hordes to your south. This should be easy with your vassal swarm ready to fight for you. Once you reach Admintech 10, you should be able to form Russia. This will give you access to some of the best national ideas in the game. Some of Russia's best ideas include plus 33% national manpower modifier, minus 10% core creation cost, minus 10% aggressive expansion impact, plus 50% land force limit modifier, and most importantly, the Siberian frontier mechanic. This will allow the player to colonize all of Siberia, reaching the Pacific. Apart from the early game struggles of forming Russia, falling behind on technology could ruin your campaign. I'd highly recommend keeping an eye on that military technology and not fall behind. Overall, Muscovy is a good starting nation for any beginner trying to paint the map. France in 1.30 is better than ever with their new and improved vassal swarm. During the first couple of years, the surrender of main event will fire. This will likely force England to declare war on you. While the war is frankly unlosable for France, I would suggest that the player instead declare war on England before the event fires. This will allow the player to make use of those reconquest CBs, allowing the player to take way more land for way less aggressive expansion. While playing as France, you have to look out for that aggressive expansion, especially when going into Burgundy, Italy, or Brittany. French national ideas will give you 2 really good military ideas. The first one, plus 20% morale of armies. The second, plus 5% discipline. Overall, France is a really good nation for any level of player. I'd just recommend not going full Napoleon, because you'll end up losing to a coalition. Last, we've got England, one of my favorite starting nations in the whole game, and a really good one for beginners. I'm going to recommend that the first thing you do as England is release both Gascony and Normandy as vassals, and give Normandy both Maine and Alencon. This will allow you to keep most of the benefits of having those lands, such as the trade power in the English Channel, but also limit the amount of war score an enemy on mainland Europe could get against you. By getting rid of your cores on the continent, you can now consolidate all the British Isles without having to worry about aggressive expansion or mainland powers. English national ideas such as plus 10% heavy ship combat ability, plus 10% sailor recovery speed, and minus 10% sailor maintenance will make your island ultimately untouchable.